Perfect. I went and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Ms. Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So does this research have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on, let me pause. You have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any further. I ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have further evidence? I presume not. But the prosecution has made its mind convincingly enough. Nothing to add, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. Look at her, look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. What's it called? The aura of a capable Japanese. It's just a little longer. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seemed like I wasn't clear. I realized I phrased it as a question. However, you will have to keep your ass in the courtroom. I've said many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is the new evidence you would like to bring to the court? Let's see, Giselle's reports. Of the entire body in death, even in a minute's dose. Above mentioned effect often occurs when the poison enters through a wound, such as an inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Enters the body through a wound. Due to its ability to render the human body application be anesthetic. However, a solution to respiratory causes the effect. If found first, it would die from suffocation. Yes, this is it.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand that you're studying under Wilson at the Yume doing research. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into poison?
Attention!
What a nonsense. Curare, I've never heard of it. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Curare before for that one simple reason. Because there's no tests available? here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
Wow.
Order, order. Council, what does this deadly poison mean? According to this report authored by the visiting research student, it's been used by tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known amongst Europeans.
To lace their arrows?
The reports state that it's produced by the extract of a tree that grows in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought to Europe by the turn of the century by Alright, reconnection. Okay. So apparently there's another way around this with the poison. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself. The moment the toxin enters the body, instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are unable to move. Even if they were in agony, there would be no visible signs of pain. How terrible. Obviously, if the man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse right away. But the chair underneath him, just as was said, is largely unnoticed. I don't follow, Kazuma. It's just paralysis, though. I thought poison can cause instant death. Oh, there's no sounds? Is there sound now? There should be sound. Fuck my ass, senseless. Let me try to see if any of this is gonna work. Let's see. I'll just keep on going through. If the sound goes back up, then that's fine. Full explanation is unpleasant. The poison causes immediately paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. After a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all that, the victim is conscious and unaware and unable to move. That's hideous. To the observer, it looks like it's almost the victim is slipping peacefully into sleep. But for the victim himself, the final moment would be living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare. Sorry, it looks like my Wi-Fi for this. Yeah. I think it might be a Wi-Fi thing. No, I'm deflated. I don't care about this shit anymore. Let me get myself. Maybe if I just take a stand up and stretch out a bit. Let me stretch a bit. I think that might be the issue. I feel like I'm on the verge of throwing everything out a window. Alright. Let's see. There we go. And you're suggesting this bottle capsule actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all convenient, isn't it? Hitherto unknown poison, no means of testing.
If I may.
All these facts, you think you're clever.
It is you who must be taught.
Of course. Dear lady.
So, this is how you Japanese behave, isn't it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison doesn't exist in our country is breaking the rules.
What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Mrs. Brett? May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Oh, well, yes, I don't see the, why not? Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. You little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers. What are you doing? No sparkle left at all? How appropriate for this shabby affair. Either that or like she applied it to his hand because it gets applied from wounds. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. So no curare? The bottle was clean? Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy. Of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Thank you, waiter. Now, Your Excellency. Yes, Mrs. Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I've given more than enough time for the furtherance of friendship between communities and families. Yes, lady. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been some poison in the bottle. How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if there's nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to be some poison in that bottle, doesn't there? There can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have clues now. The bottle of water. Let's see. I feel like... Let's see. Was there? Yes. I think there is poison, but it's just something that dies in the water. Culprit did put it in the water. The defense refuses to change the position. You're serious?
Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle has poison.
Miss Brett drinking the water from it? That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe the complication has been explained. Oh, exactly. I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have somewhere. It has to be. Very well, if the defense inserts. Then I must ask you to support that with evidence. Let's see. How is the bottle left unscathed? Let's look through the research. And let's see. Instant paralysis and death, above mentioned, only occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound. Yes, it's still this one.
Yes!
Answers this riddle. It's right in the own research.
It's not a valid explanation.
No.
We don't speak English. That report is gibberish. The impudent young scoundrels ridiculing the court.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I was just reading Susato's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered. You will direct us to the section, Counsel. Which section? It's this characteristics. Well, we've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Well, it sounds as though the indigenous hunters have been using this for years to lace the heads of arrows they shoot. So we've been led to believe this, yes. And the point of the hunting is to catch prey to eat. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't have wanted to eat the prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, that would be madness. Actually found the answer to this conundrum. Research paper here. Under special circumstances, it says, the poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? That does make sense. Seems a little strange to me. But it all makes sense when you interpret that it's written like this. Curare enters the body through an open wound. It has terrifying poison effects. When it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew its special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger upon yourself. You meddling little...
Rapscallion!
Well, Ryunosuke, as it turns out, you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
All of this is fascinating for sure, but how does it... So, the ill-bred little puppy is a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has one fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? flaw? Even as your brain managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems like its effects are neutralized by the effect of acidic nature of the gastric sucus. Oh yes, well of course. Gastric suckers, what are they? So a lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk. The professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Huh? That's right. Good gracious. That's basic science, even a schoolboy should understand, no? The wound, yeah, it's in the burn mark. Oh wait, no, the wounds. No, it's a different one. Oh, the fucking mouth, he had oral surgery. Yeah, he's not allowed to eat stuff or it'll make his mouth bleed. Yeah, and she knew. I get it. I fucking get it. Oh, no, it's relevant. It's relevant. Shut your face. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. No, we got this. What is this? Welling up inside me. Am I a little excited by her anger? I felt this before. This conviction to break down all discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's animalistic desire to take down my prey. That's a bit creepy.
Objection!
Oh, his first objection. Objection! I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well there's no fatal flaw here. Baby's first injection. No, baby's first objection. You and the victim swallowed the same person. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I need to remind you, you need evidence. As you know, the poison is harmless when ingested. Why would he be alone, be killed by this? His fucking mouth! The medical report card in his face. This is clearly a record of some kind of medical treatment. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of anesthesia. Extraction? So he had a tooth out. Yes, it sounds just as before he went to lunch. He had a decayed tooth removed. They probably used laughing gas so he wouldn't feel it. The latest medical advancement. I heard people talking about this new idea. It's impossible to imagine not feeling pain. So you know at the end, wrote this. It says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while it wears off. It would have to be in this one, wouldn't it? The medical report card. Yes.
Take that!
Ah, his first objection is first take that. Take that! Objection! Miss Brett readily pointed she drank from the same water. However, there's a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. Fatal difference? The toxic effects can only be felt when it enters through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, it's harmless. But what if there was a wound inside of the mouth of the person drinking? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Whoa! Miss Brett, you acknowledged many times already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment. Ah! So that's it. You used the knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile. What? What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No. I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! What's happening? Is it the English woman? She just smashed a bottle in the Supreme Court? What a terrible blunder. What are you waiting for? Collect the water as broken as possible. You're wasting your time. The delightful carpet under my feet was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it'll soak up the water beautifully. You have neither technology nor presence of mind to recover it. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know, will we? There was really poison in the bottle. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for prosecution? Oh, of course. You're referring to the photograph. That's right, and really looking at the photograph, it's clear as day. Isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. The only person that could have shot him from the front was the little school. No, you killed the victim that day, using curare, and then in order to frame Ryunosuke for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor before you shot his dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? I shot the professor's dead body. I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused. It's unbelievable. How could this be happening? We had her, but now... The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke, we have come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. We've lost a vital piece of evidence. Is there any clues left behind? They must be in your head. My head? Your powers of observation are one thing you could depend on. Yeah, she's awful, but... Remember the last detail of the crime. Everything you saw, everything you felt. Every color and smell. Let's see. Every color. Oh. Oh. There's blood. I hope this isn't Chris's blood. Vibrant insane scene in my head. Alright. Could be another piece of evidence. There is a clue. Actually, Cosma, I think I might have something. Thinking back on it, everything I saw, there was something. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that English woman's face. The evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been tickling me for a while. That something's feeling amiss in the memories of this day. Whatever could be the feeling that's arrived has come to this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows the real killer. It is this stake. Blood.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes. What is it? He's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you say a number of times, you strive for perfection in your investigations. Absolutely. I wonder if you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took from the victim's table.
Objection!
Wait a minute, where are you going? Where are you going with this little boy?
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
I saw this scene shown in the photographic print with my own eyes. I saw on the wooden base that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What? Oh, really? And what of it?
Obviously, that must have happened when you shot them. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot him from the chest from the front, there's no way the blood could have ended behind him. Yes. For the blood to make it on the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor. Giselle Brett,
I beg your pardon.
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense.
Hold it!
This could be the moment of my entire career the police force is leading up to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, and meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief.
You did what?
I took the steak you'd been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak and the sergeant was eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then can we find out for sure whether or not there's a blood stain on Miss Brett's plate? We must examine it now. Sorry, it's 1, but I think I might stretch this to 115. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate. Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay. Let me see if I could save this. Like, just regularly. Yeah. I think maybe... Should I leave it off at this point? Because I feel like there's still quite a bit of trial left. I think that maybe I should try to... I'll save this for the next time I play this. But for now, I'm going to save this. And I am going to stop right here. Because this seems like it's going to get into pretty serious territory. Oh, allowing you to progress through the game without pressing buttons. Nah. It's finding the evidence that's really spicy. Up. And let's add another save just to be sure. For good measure. Probably just the one down here. And then I'm going to leave from here, and then we can make our way over to just chatting section. Alright, so thank you all for showing up. I'm really hoping that a lot of people were able to enjoy a lot of this. I know it can be a little difficult. I think that sometimes it can be hard to gauge, like, whether it's interesting to be able to do story-based stuff or not, but sometimes it's just fun to be able to kind of look into it and see what happens. I think that as I kind of get further into being able to stream a lot, I know I've gotten quite a lot of followers, but I know sometimes it's the interactions in chat that will only let me be able to get to affiliate ship, so it can be very difficult to gauge if anyone actually watches this or not. But if you did, it's very awesome that you did, and I hope that you'll be able to enjoy the rest of your day streaming and be able to tune into my friend Amana, who's going to probably show up maybe around 2-ish. But until then, I will see you all, and I'm going to leave you off by poking on my beauty Mark. and putting it on that microphone, and you'll be able to have wonderful good luck along the way. All right, see you all. Bye.